Cześć, dzień dobry. To jest kolejna lekcja języka polskiego na kanale Polish with Blondes. And let me introduce today's lesson with this object, długopis. Długopis. However, if you use it in a sentence, if you want to say, I'm writing with a pen, you will say, piszę długopisem. So it's no longer długopis. Now it sounds slightly different. Piszę długopisem. So what is happening here? This is another case that we're going to introduce in today's lesson, which is called instrumental. So this lesson is all about the instrumental case. Let's get to it. Zaczynajmy. The name instrumental already suggests a little bit how you use it. It's about doing something with a certain tool, instrument, like with a pen, długopisem. Długopisem. And let me now give you more examples. Mieszam herbatę łyżeczką. Mieszam herbatę łyżeczką. Łyżeczka, łyżeczką. Kroję chleb nożem. Kroję chleb nożem. Nóż nożem. So as you can see, you use it when you do something with a certain thing using a certain tool. So try to remember this case instrumental as this instrument being a tool that you do something with. But the use of the instrumental case is wider than that. So I'm going to give you more examples and more possible uses. You also use it when you talk about food, that something goes with something else. For example, kanapka z serem. And in this case, not only do you need to add an ending, so ser becomes serem, you also need to introduce the preposition that joins it together. Kanapka z serem. Pronunciation-wise, it might be a bit strange to put Z next to an S, which ser starts with. We have a whole lesson about it, talking about how to pronounce those different clusters of consonants together. You might want to take a look. Coming back to our topic, let me give you more examples of how you can use instrumental to talk about food and drink. Lody z czekoladą. Lody z czekoladą. Deser z owocami. Deser z owocami. Let's also include some Polish food. Bigos z grzybami. Bigos z grzybami. Pierogi z serem. Pierogi z serem. Pierogi z mięsem. Pierogi z kapustą. And some for things we drink. Herbata z cytryną. Herbata z cytryną. Kawa z mlekiem. Kawa z mlekiem. Now, if you look at some of those examples together, you already see all the instrumental endings. Can you work out, by looking at those examples, when do you use each ending? You can see 3 different endings there. When do we use each of them? So, for the nouns, for the feminine nouns, the ending is on. Lody z czekoladą. Herbata z cytryną. For the masculine and neuter nouns, however, the ending is m. M. Kanapka z serem. Piszę długopisem. And one more final ending for plural And it doesn't matter which noun you use, so all the nouns, feminine, masculine, and neuter, have the same ending in plural when you use the instrumental case, which is ami. Lody z owocami. Pierogi z grzybami. What will happen to the adjectives when you use them with those nouns? Shall we take a look? Kanapka z żółtym serem. So żółty becomes żółtym. Kanapka z żółtym serem. Deser z orzechami włoskimi. Deser z orzechami włoskimi. So it's imi, but it also could be imi at the end of plural adjectives here. Imi will be when your last consonant is either K or G. Let's take a look at the ending imi. Lody z owocami leśnymi. Lody z owocami leśnymi. And when you use a feminine noun in singular, the ending of the adjective will be exactly the same as the ending of the noun. And what was the ending of the noun? On. For example, pierogi z kapustą. And let's add the adjective to it. Pierogi z kiszoną kapustą. Pierogi z kiszoną kapustą. Let's move on to more examples when you can use the instrumental case, which is really useful and important in our language. So another example when you use the instrumental is when you say that you're doing something with someone else. So you could say idę na spacer z psem. Idę na spacer z psem. Pies becomes psem. So the ending is M, because pies is a masculine noun. However, sometimes we have a change in the stem of our noun, and that's the case here. We're losing this main syllable, we're losing the main vowel. So pies now becomes shortened, ps, plus the ending, psem. Idę na spacer z psem. Spotykam się z kolegami. Ona mieszka z bratem. Brat z bratem. Spotykam się z kolegami. Kolega and plural z kolegami. Często spotykam się z rodziną. Rodzina, feminine noun, with family, z rodziną. Z rodziną. We also use the instrumental case when we're talking about how we travel. So when in English you say by bus, by car, by train, in Polish you just use the instrumental case without any preposition. So you could say jeżdżę autobusem, pociągiem, tramwajem, rowerem, taksówką. Podróżuję samolotem, podróżuję statkiem. Ja jeżdżę do pracy samochodem. A ty? Czym jeździsz do pracy? Czym jeździsz do pracy? Ja lubię podróżować samolotem. A ty? Czym lubisz podróżować? Let me know in the comments and practice using the instrumental case. This way, I will be happy to respond to all your comments. So is it everything about how we use the instrumental case? Not really, there is more to it. You're using it when you're saying who you are, and the use is quite wide. So you could say, jestem mamą, jestem córką, jestem siostrą, on jest bratem. You could use it about jobs. Nauczycielka, that's the nominative for teacher, feminine. How do you think you'll say she's a teacher? What was the ending of the instrumental case for feminine nouns? Nauczycielką. Ona jest nauczycielką. Some jobs have a feminine and masculine version. And it's also the case with the word for a teacher. So a teacher, when you're talking about a guy, is nauczyciel. Nauczyciel. So how do you think you'll say he's a teacher? What was the masculine ending? Nauczycielem. Nauczycielem. On jest nauczycielem. Let's say he's a good teacher. What was the ending for the adjective that goes together with the masculine noun in this case? Im. Dobrym nauczycielem. On jest dobrym nauczycielem. So yes, you can talk about who you are, like I'm a brother, sister, like I'm a sister, I'm a mother, what your job is. Also, your nationality. Polka, ja jestem. What's the ending? Polką. Polak, on jest. What do you think? Polakiem. Polakiem. Oni są. What was the plural ending for all nouns? How would you say they are Polish? Oni są Polakami. Oni są Polakami. So let me give you a few more examples of nationalities. But these words are nouns, not adjectives. And then try to use it in a sentence. Anglik. On jest Anglikiem. On jest Anglikiem. So how would you say they are English? Oni są Anglikami. Oni są Anglikami. Francuz. How would you say he is French? On jest Francuzem. On jest Francuzem. Francuska, for a woman, kobieta francuska. Ona jest. Ona jest Francuską. Oni są Francuzami. Oni są Francuzami. One są Francuskami. One są Francuskami. By the way, there is also a whole lesson about countries and nationalities. You might want to check this one out. The link should appear above. Another use of the instrumental case is when you say what you are interested in. The verb to use is interesować się. Interesować się. And that's followed by the instrumental case. In a sentence, interesuje się muzyką. Muzyka becomes muzyką. Interesuje się muzyką. Film. Ona interesuje się. How do you think you'll say she's interested in film? Filmem. Filmem. Ona interesuje się filmem. You could also use plural here if you wanted. Let's try to use plural. She's interested in films. Ona interesuje się filmami. Ona interesuje się filmami. Let's say she's interested in old films. How do you think you'll say that? Ona interesuje się starymi filmami. Ona interesuje się starymi filmami. Biologia. Oni interesują się biologią. Oni interesują się biologią. Historia. My interesujemy się historią. Historią. Haven't used neuter nouns yet. Let's do it then. Kino is a neuter noun. What was the ending in the instrumental case for neuter nouns? Same as masculine. Kinem. Kinem. interesuje się kinem. Interesuje się kinem. Also notice that in the question, czym się interesujesz, the word what is no longer co. It is czym. Czym. And that's the instrumental version of the word co. Czym się interesujesz? Let me know in the comments as well. You would use the same, for example, when you're coming back to the topic of food, like we had kanapka z serem. Now, if you want to say, what do you want your sandwich with? You'll say z czym. Z czym. Together. Z czym. Z czym chcesz kanapkę? Poproszę z serem. Poproszę kanapkę z serem. And one more final example of how we can use the instrumental case I'm going to give you in today's lesson is when you use it following some prepositions. And the two prepositions I'm going to cover today is nad, pod. Nad, pod. And when you use a noun after that, or a noun with an adjective, they have to be in the instrumental case. Again, let's see a couple of examples. Lampa jest nad stołem. Lampa jest nad stołem. Kot jest pod stołem. Kot jest pod stołem. Gdzie lubisz spędzać wakacje? Ja lubię spędzać wakacje nad morzem, ale też nad jeziorem. Nad jeziorem, nad rzeką. Nad morzem, nad jeziorem, nad rzeką. That's the preposition we use to say at the seaside, at the river, and it's followed by the instrumental case. Final practice time. Try and finish the sentences using the instrumental case. Use the picture hints. Interesuje się fotografią. Fotografią. Lubię spędzać wakacje nad morzem. Lubię spędzać wakacje nad morzem. Ona jest Niemką. Ona jest Niemką. Idę na spacer z bratem. Idę na spacer z bratem. Lubię chodzić na spacer z psem. Lubię chodzić na spacer z psem. On mieszka nad rzeką. On mieszka nad rzeką. Robię kanapki z serem. Robię kanapki z serem. Piszę długopisem. Piszę długopisem. Mieszam sałatkę łyżką. Mieszam sałatkę łyżką. These are all the examples that I have for you today. I hope it has not been too complicated. So just to recap, you have 3 endings of nouns to remember. M in singular for neuter and masculine nouns. On for feminine nouns. And ami for all the nouns when you use them in plural. And for the adjectives that go with masculine nouns, im or im, following letter K and G. And for all the plural adjectives, it's going to be imi or imi when the last consonant is K or G. I know it's a lot to take in, so it's worth practicing it. And that's why you will find a PDF in the link in the description below with a lot of practice. Also, when you click the link, you'll find other worksheets for a lot of our different lessons. That's it for today. To wszystko na dzisiaj. Dziękuję bardzo. Miłego dnia. Do zobaczenia.